Armchair's View. Joining me on our first live recording of the Armchair's View is Chalky, Hickers and Mike. How are we all?
All good, mate.
Very well, thank you.
Very good.
Good. So anyone who is watching on live, just drop in some questions. We'll try and answer as many as we can as we're going through the podcast. But should we start off talking about Chelsea, the Club World Cup final?
Yeah.
Yeah, seems a sensible place to start, doesn't it?
Big thing this week, wasn't it? Well, apart from any transfers happened, but not a lot happened this week. In that
Just want to touch on, sorry, while we're talking about this, I've had a few debates with a keen listener and someone who's been on the podcast, Johnny Barker Phillips. Hello, Johnny. Sanchez in goal. Did anyone think he was outstanding or just an okay performance?
The problem is with a keeper is 9 times out of 10 when you have a good performance, you just aren't noticed at all. You have to make spectacular saves or do something outrageous or have a big moment. Penalties, one-on-one stops. You can come out and catch 20 crosses a game, catch every ball and make all the basic saves and you will not be talked about. It's the mistakes that get talked about as a keeper. I will say he has mistakes in him. That's the bit, and that's when you notice the keeper is not at the top, is because they have those areas in them in big games or in any game really. But I've never been that impressed with him, and I have seen, was it 3 or 4 errors probably last season? I think he was lucky a couple of times as well.
You were a keeper, weren't you?
I was a keeper, yes, Dan.
You can tell.
Right.
Can you?
To add to Mike's point, for the record, I have not been a huge Robert Sanchez fan.
Yeah, it's crap.
It's harsh.
But I did think he had an outstanding game in that final. You only have to look at some of his distribution down that right-hand side, where Chelsea were getting a lot of their success and joy in that first half in particular. I thought his distribution was excellent, and he also made some very big saves at key points.
A couple. I don't know, big I think is a bit of a stretch.
Look, I don't think he's had an outstanding season. I don't think he's been absolutely brilliant in a Chelsea shirt overall. He's clearly a bit rickety, and he's made mistakes. Even at the end of the game, he almost held on to the ball for a bit too long, didn't he? But
I think because he's been quite poor this season, I think it's just highlighted a bit more because he probably had a bit more above average game rather than the calamity that he usually has.
Where was he before? Who did Chelsea sign him from?
Brighton.
It was Brighton, yeah. I mean, normally when a keeper comes in, like De Gea had a couple of rocky seasons, but he came from the Spanish league. And yes, when a keeper comes from the Premier League, you expect him to acclimatise quite quickly, don't you? But he still seemed to struggle. I mean, I can remember a couple of times. I mean, he was very lucky. The one game I remember him watching quite prominently was the Tottenham-Chelsea game. And he was only very, very fortunate to get away with not completely fumbling a goal. I think Sarr shot from about 25, 30 yards out, and it just went under him. And he was lucky that I think it was Caicedo got given a foul against. Sarr was supposedly fouled him, that he didn't then give a goal away, and that would have made it 1-1. And that's effectively costing the team 2 points.
the thing is, your question, Dan, was about the final and judging his performance without any, judgment of his previous performances. I would say it was more than an above average game. He pretty much had a flawless game.
90th minute, tried to give the ball away.
Yeah. Apart from the dying seconds where the game is effectively won because of the good work he did.
I would say the problem with that is when you say he's made a great save there.
Yeah.
If you flip that, if he lets that in, do you go, he should be doing better there? Because that's the thing. As soon as you go, great save. But if that goes in and goes, there's nothing you can do, fair enough. If he goes, that goes again, you think he should save that. Is it a great save or is it a stop he should make? Do you know what I mean? Because every time Pillow makes a decent pass, years ago obviously, and it was 34 yards, great pass. That's the case, he won't make that every time, but it may say 20-yard pass, he make that every time. It's a good pass, but he makes it every time.
I think there was one outstanding save in that game. I hear what you're saying. There are saves where you'd expect them to make it.
One I'd agree with, yeah.
And I think, but he can only play what's in front of him. Actually, Chelsea limited them to very few chances, didn't they? And even the one that they had, Doué then decided to pass across, and Cucurella read the situation well.
I think we are missing a big talking point of this whole game, though. Not Cole Palmer, Donald Trump.
Oh,
How fantastic was that? I know Chalky's a big fan. Of
I
Mr.
must admit, I didn't watch that bit. No.
Basically, for anyone watching who didn't see it, Donald Trump was on stage. I think he's going to hand the trophy over, but normally they then leave, don't
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just stood there, and I believe
Even
he
the
blocked Cole Palmer from view. So they're all
my
doing a
word.
celebration.
He's got such main character element about him. He just thinks he's the main character every time.
There's a picture of Palmer just staring at Trump while it's all going on, which is quite funny. But
He's meant to follow the FIFA president because he said, come on me. And then like Donald Trump goes, no, I'm staying here, sort of basically. And then even Reece James looks at him like, are you leaving? You can clearly see Reece James go, are you leaving? And he's like, no.
and did Infantino sort of down his way in, tried to usher him away? Look, we won't go down into politics, whether you love or you hate Trump. That was a real TV moment.
Thing is, I think
it was an Emi Martinez humping his Golden Glove trophy moment, wasn't it? Like a moment you talk about for all the wrong reasons, but it will be talked about.
So Zoe has just said, in her professional opinion, Chelsea are looking strong to win the league and the Champions League. Up the Blues.
Sorry, did she say professional opinion?
Yeah,
Well,
you don't know. And Mark Goodyear was with the comment of the night so far, saying up the Toffees.
to be fair to Zoe, you see Chelsea put in a performance like that against the very best team there has been, that have knocked out every Premier League side, bar Chelsea in the Champions League. You would think, absolutely, why can't they go on and win the game?
I think
So
especially
the league,
Palmer
rather.
as well.
one-off game, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but if Palmer can produce
Yeah.
in 30 out of 38 games this season,
I think you've both touched upon the key point there, which is, can they be consistent over a 38 game period?
We did miss a comment. I believe it's Dave. So sorry, Dave. Just giving a bit of context about Sanchez. He just put, to add to this, he's also under pressure to perform as he's been questioned this season. And I think the reason he's been questioned, Dave, is because he's rubbish.
I will say the problem is what Premier League keeper isn't under pressure? Every single Premier League keeper that goes out to that game has to stand between those sticks and face shots.
To be fair,
I don't get me wrong. Yes, some will be questioned, but how often is Pickford questioned? How often was De Gea questioned? How often how often exactly? But every number one who plays for a Premier League side is questioned.
I think that the point Dave's making, to be fair to him, is he has looked suspect, which has brought questions on.
Yeah, but then end of the season before last, he was dropped for Petrovic for a bit, and then this season he's been swapped with Jorgensen. That's it.
Again, Dave has chipped in again. We've literally had discussions with. I can't pronounce the name, the keeper from AC Milan, Manigan?
Maignan, yeah.
Who does look a good keeper, to be fair, so they'll go back in for him. I think Chelsea are probably a keeper and centre-back away from really pushing probably yourselves, Chalky, for the league this season. So I think City still look off it. When you mentioned United, Arsenal will touch on them a little bit.
What about their wingers? I know Palmer plays more as Cam, and you got
Neto has looked very good.
I think Neto's improved. He took a while to bring himself into the Premier League, but he had a good second half of the season, and I think he had quite a good tournament. But I didn't watch a lot of that tournament.
Mike, I liked Cole Palmer at right wing. I'd be intrigued to hear what Chelsea fans think. Whether because he's been predominantly played as a cam, but as a right winger, he looked excellent, cutting in on that left.
It's such a useful aspect to be able to play wing and cam, and it's one thing I was dying for Southgate to try was when we had Foden, Saka, and Palmer. Those three could all play either wing and cam, and just have those three just interchange throughout the game. It will cause nightmare for defenders, especially at the international level. There would be teams going, which one are we going up against? What are we doing? Because they're all left-footed. They're all going to cut in on the right, and they're all going to go down the left side. So you don't have to. Striker doesn't have to change his mentality. Kane knows from his left he's getting across, from the right they're cutting in, and from the cam he's got whichever one creatively. All three of them brilliant players, and all three can mix up those positions. Admittedly, a bit of a tangent, but yes.
No, you're right.
Palmer's brilliant right wing or can.
The brilliant players can alternate their position, can't they? But that second goal from Palmer in particular. That was a really special moment, the way he sort of feigned a couple of defenders, bought himself that space.
Slotted in. Yeah, it was lovely.
Just thought that was wonderful.
Going back to
he seemed to have so much space, doesn't he? And that's admittedly again what the best players do. They just seem to have all the time in the world.
Absolutely.
It seems that he had like 10, 15 yards into the box all to himself.
Yeah.
Going back to Zoe's comment though, I just don't think Chelsea will be able to compete for both. It's a long season with Chalobah, Levi Colwill and Sanchez, that core at the back.
Are you questioning their depth in the squad, are you, Chalky? Is that what you're saying?
What I would say, Chelsea.
I just think that centre-back area and that keeper, that's
I
their weakness.
I agree with Dan's comment. I think I think a centre-back is somewhere they do need to bring in
I think Levi Colwill's good enough. And I think Chalobah would be good rotation, but I don't think for a long season, I think they need a
You've got like Fofana and stuff
leader.
who's too injury prone and all that sort of stuff.
Bear in mind, they've basically played for 12 months straight, haven't they? And I think that's going to take its toll towards the end of the season. I think they'll get off to an absolute flyer, and they're going to struggle maybe come Christmas.
What are they going to do? Because surely now most teams are now coming back for pre-season, and they've only just stopped playing. Are they going to give them like a quick 5-6 days off and then bring them back in? Or are they going to?
They need a good break. I'd say I wouldn't even. Particularly those ones that played a huge number of minutes, I wouldn't even bring them back until like a week before.
I'd
need a break.
I'd say 2 weeks before. I'd say they do need now time off. I'd say 2 weeks before. Cause, I mean, what's the first game of the season?
It starts in
a month. I'd say two weeks off now and then 2 weeks back. I think that would be fine.
And maybe you throw in the incentive of another break midway through. I don't know.
I think they had a small break before, didn't they? Before the Club World Cup.
You could
could argue making the point of speaking to Tuchel and going, look,
don't pick them.
Don't pick them for the international squad. Yeah. The ones you know anyway, like your Palmers and stuff, are going to get in the squad. Give him that international break. He needs another break.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And just speak to the international manager. Look, the next couple for your friendlies, don't pick them. You know what they're about. You know who they are. You know how they play. They need another break.
The international break just gone off, didn't he? Foden wasn't in.
Yeah.
Chelsea then, do you think they can challenge next year?
Or I hope so.
I really do. I'd like to touch upon their new strikers as well, because I'll be honest, that final was the first time, I don't know, I really had a good look at them, particularly João Pedro obviously recently joining, and I thought João Pedro was blooming brilliant, because he's got trickery, but he can hold the ball up, and he runs hard, and not only that, I really like that he's got a bit of bite to his game. Do you know what I mean? A bit of aggression.
See, for me, the most impressive thing is his composure in front of goal. That little chip over Donnarumma, and the lovely one. The first goal he scored, the curl on the edge of the area, and a lash. There's 3 completely different goals there. A smart fish on the edge of the area, an absolute lashing in the top corner, and a lovely little chip. He's just he can score in so many ways. I must admit, when I first saw him, I thought, it'll be an okay signing. I was like, he was all right at Brighton. I didn't watch too much of him, but from what I've seen of him at Chelsea, he looked like he could really push them on towards that. I think
playing with better players, he's just going to, like I say, he can just really push on now, can't he? Like you do when you play with better players and better quality, you do improve yourself, especially if you've got that.
Is he going to do sort of like a Sadio Mane, who went from, no disrespect, from a Southampton to a Liverpool, and he didn't miss a beat going to Diego Jota similar?
But Mane,
I'm thinking of Liverpool players here, but there's players who have gone from lower ends of table clubs, or even clubs pushing for Europe, have joined those clubs, and they've just taken that next step.
Yeah, Van Persie to Man United.
But I could see Mane was a special player at Southampton. Yeah. No, he didn't come as a surprise.
He wouldn't have caught the eye of most.
I do.
Now everyone knows he's good, but there's always that question.
I actually would disagree with you, because did he get his hat trick at Saints? Didn't he? The quickest hat trick.
Yeah.
So I would say
he was Liverpool,
he was still a good player, and you knew he was a good player. I will agree. Yeah, he did do more at Liverpool because he was getting at a better team. But I still think he was a great player at Saints.
Do you think João Pedro is the first player to win a trophy for his new club without visiting the training ground?
It's a very strange record to hold, but probably.
He's never obviously signed, straight to America, played and won.
Yes, he's won a trophy within 3 matches. Quite impressive.
I'd say, speaking about trophies, Arsenal. Should we touch on Arsenal? Does this now put more pressure on Arsenal? I know, obviously, me and you, Chalky, have had this conversation, and we're both in agreement. I think it does. So I'm just looking at comments, and my father has joined the live, and he's put, "What an awful shirt Chalky has on." But does this put more pressure on Arsenal, Chalky?
Oh, it's got to, hasn't it? Like, say, how long's Maresca been there now? Is it his second season?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Second season coming up
last season or this season?
No.
I'd say he's starting his second season.
Yeah, starting his second season. So I think now, like I say, he's come in, won that. He's won the Conference League. I know they're expected to win that, but he still have to do that. And Arteta, what we're in now, like phase 900. like he's got to win something soon.
Yeah, I think I really like Arteta.
He's close to spending £1 billion, billion euro. Sorry.
He needs to win, in my opinion, Premier League or Champions League this season.
The problem is, I think football can be so cruel at times because I think Arteta's done. I think he's done a really good job at Arsenal, but ultimately in football you have to win something what's the word? Like intrinsic. It's got to be physical. A trophy.
Is he the one though that can take him to that next to win something big? I know he won the FA Cup in his first year. Arguably, that wasn't his team.
I think he could absolutely.
I think it could take just winning a Carabao Cup, just to get that feeling of winning something, just to push him on or something. I don't know.
I think he did win the FA Cup obviously in that first season, so he knows how to win.
I think he also includes the Community Shield.
Yeah, he's done it himself.
I mean, the thing is, let's be honest. Apart from maybe Chalky, I think if any of us three sat here will won the Community Shield, we'd count it as a trophy, would you not?
Well, something else though, isn't it?
No, not necessarily. Come second. You can get in the
I
Community
guess
Shield.
you've got to earn the right to be in the Community Shield.
You've either got to come second in the Premier League or win the Premier League or win the FA Cup. There's 3 ways to get in it, isn't it? You've got to do one of those, haven't you?
So, FA Cup win wasn't Arteta's squad, David said, which I also did point out. So me and Dave in agreement there because he came in December.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. He's still got to put it out. I mean, Arne Slot won the Premier League. Was that not his side? He's still got to put 38 games.
Because Arne Slot managed the 38 games, but to be fair,
Arteta
managed all the FA Cup.
You could say. I think it's a bit harsh. Admittedly, it's not his squad, but I think the signings Arteta made, most of them have been fairly decent.
And it was during COVID as well. Dave's pointed out. Dave is loving the comments, and we're very thankful for them, Dave.
I also think knocking off this COVID thing. What was wrong with the COVID rules? I mean, COVID was a great season. I enjoyed that one.
Liverpool would only have won one Premier League if you take COVID out. So
COVID doesn't count. COVID for the league doesn't count anyway.
The asterisk next to it.
This one's got an asterisk next to it as well.
We'll find a way. But so you think Arteta can win something? Do you think Arteta will win something meaningful?
Say Sonny Gyökeres, like I say, he'll be you'd think he'd be a good signing.
Well, he was poor at Brighton, wasn't he?
I know, but he's really pushed on since.
That was a long time ago.
He's pushed on in Portuguese league.
Yeah,
he's scored a lot. And don't get me wrong, I'm not slagging off the Portuguese league that much, but at the end of the day, it's not the Premier League.
No,
it's nowhere near the same. It's not the same style. It's not the same intensity. And it's not the same quality.
He got the English intensity through playing in the Championship with Coventry. So
I would argue a bit on that.
He has grafted in the lower division.
Strikers that done really well in the Championship and then couldn't hack it in the Premier League.
And you've got 3 of them
there
right now.
There are lots of strikers though who've gone on to do very well in the Premier League, having been prolific in the Championship. Ollie Watkins.
He was very young in the Championship, wasn't he? He was very young in the Championship.
I see Ollie Watkins. I raised you a Dwight Gale.
Dwight Gale? God, that's not... Is that raising me?
I believe so. He wasn't... Apart from when he scored against Liverpool, sorry, I'm just pointing
at but Ollie Watkins has become an established Premier League striker. Dwight Gale never...
was terrible.
I see. Okay, so you're arguing against it.
Yeah.
Oh, I could say... Yeah, Adam Armstrong's another example of a Dwight Gale.
Shea Adams.
I think
no, Shea was a bit better than that.
Shea he was a donkey on studs, that guy.
We love coming back to Shea Adams.
Oh, he was horrendous.
So, Mike, you don't think Chelsea winning does put up pressure on Arsenal, do you?
It's not like I don't think it does, but at the end of the day, Arsenal weren't in the Club World Cup, admittedly, because Chelsea win the Club World Cup because they won the conference, wasn't it? That's why they qualified, because they were... Arsenal weren't even put in the conference because they were finishing consistently so much higher than Chelsea. So I think it's unfair to say, oh, well, look, Chelsea won the trophy, that puts pressure on Arsenal. I think at the end of the day, Arsenal did all right at the Champions League and they got second again. So I think it's harsh to say, oh, they're not winning a trophy, because they could go too.
Can you say second again? Ole, ole.
Because K-Win11 has asked, what do you guys think about Luis Diaz to Barca? Start with you, Chalky, what do you think? I thought he was linked with Bayern more than Barca.
He was linked heavily with Bayern, wasn't he?
Yeah, they're both.
Apparently, they just turned down 67.5 mil for Diaz today. I think I think I was reading apparently Bayern had 100 million put aside for Florian Wirtz. So Liverpool now said we want 100 million euros for Diaz.
He's not worth that though, is
I don't think he's worth that
No,
money.
I
I'd probably snap their hand off at 75.
Haven't
Because-
Liverpool come out and said that, he's not for sale?
He's not for sale.
I
But
guess
apparently that
So that's
100 million
it's
is
a tactic, isn't it?
100 million is like.
Okay.
The thing is
there.
what would you do with that 75 million? I mean, you sold Coutinho for however much, and you bought Nunes, Alisson, Van Dijk, and all sorts with that money.
Well, I think Rodrigo's sort of on the market at the moment, isn't there? And there's talk of him being available for 62 to, I
That'd be
think,
a
70 something. And Diaz is, I think, 28, coming up 28, and Rodrigo's 24. I'd probably reinvest that in there, get a few more years, because realistically, Diaz, I know footballers look after himself now,
I think
but
Rodrigo's got more quality.
yeah,
A little bit.
yeah, and
Maybe not as much.
I
bite to his
love
game.
Diaz's work rate in that, but
Mm.
I like to say sometimes, like say the actual contributions, it sort of like slacks like sort of mid-season and then start of season and end of the season it sort of picks up. I don't know whether it's because it's a bit hotter then, because I say some of the South Americans.
Struggling in the cold.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know why Liverpool would want to sell Diaz. I think he's absolute quality. I think he's.
I think he's good, but I think it's a case of
with
like
a good attitude.
Do-
like Pep's
Do you
really good at it.
reinvest?
Sells players
yeah,
just after their peak,
Yeah.
and then he buys someone else. Like at Mahrez, a couple other players he's
But-
sold,
but
and he's
But
got
is
good money
Diaz
for them.
Is Diaz at his peak? Because I'd arguably say he's not reached that peak yet.
no.
As
Potentially.
Chalky's just said, he's still.
It's a
got-
gamble. It's a
It's-
gamble.
it's
do you,
hard to
do you
know,
go and
isn't
get
it?
someone younger, or do you?
I think
Personally, I'd keep
Rodrigo would be a
Diaz.
great signing, but it's
I'm
like,
not Chalky. I
I just think his
keep-
press and
I think if you could
everything.
if you could get 70 million from now and get Rodrigo for about the same price, I think that'd be a great
Would you
great
sell
deal.
Diaz for 70 million and try and invest in
No.
Isak?
Actually, they still got
Even
money
if
for
you could
they got
guarantee Isak.
money for Isak now, don't they? Liverpool potentially could spend another 200 million and
I
be fine.
I don't know. I don't know if you can answer that question because Isak is anything but a certainty. I think the only way Isak's going to move from Newcastle if he does a Gokares, ironically, and
So-
starts kicking and screaming.
That's
Dave,
what.
Dave has made another good point, to be fair to him. He's just said
Yeah.
that obviously the Jota circumstances may have affected Liverpool's
Yeah.
businesses because now they need to replace.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 'cause
Jota
I
as
do
well.
think that because I think before it would have been Diaz and Nunes possibly going, but now I think it probably would just be Nunes and then get another striker in, or maybe two.
Yeah, it's a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
turnover, isn't it? And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I know
Yeah.
what everyone say about it, but unfortunately, like Jota's like unfortunately it's hard to say like right, but if they don't manage to sell him or something, they've got money back for him.
Yeah,
But he's unfortunate. It's just because of the unfortunate
Yeah.
yeah.
circumstances.
You've
You've just got to put however much money up to just replace him. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
and he was such a good player.
He's
You're
one of the
right.
most two-footed players I think I've seen. Like he's left
I-
foot, right
I-
foot, header.
Oh,
He was one of
amazing.
those players that I hated to see come on the pitch because he'd always score. He was such a
Yeah.
good player.
little poacher.
But
He had one of the
well,
best leaps as
Yeah.
well for not necessarily a
so
tall
many
player.
short players with such great leaps, though, don't they? Like
Well, Shane Long's another one.
Shane Long. I mean, Tim Cahill was the one we'll know the best,
Tim
but as
Cahill.
well, Wright Phillips. He had a bit of a spring on him. He wasn't. I wouldn't say he was known. Yeah,
Sean
but
Wright Phillips.
honestly,
Did he
mate.
score? Did he
I don't know if he ever scored a header, but I remember
Yeah,
one
good
time I actually
leap.
saw him, and he just was like, "Fucking hell!"
Of all players, he gone Sean
It's
Wright Phillips.
I will say it's because I watched him one time, and he just was up.
Next, Aaron Lennon. Where are we going?
I've never saw Lennon
Short
jump, I must say.
wingers.
No, but short people. Most wingers are short. So, but fullbacks, a lot of fullbacks have quite good springs.
Aguero's short, not bad. In
I
the
never
air.
saw Aguero leap that high, but he was good. He was accurate with
Yeah,
his
but
head.
show me a video of Sean Wright Phillips jumping in
I
there.
wow, I
enjoyed
saw
it.
it.
It's something that's Mike's seen.
I saw it, and I must have been Graham, but I saw him spring, and I thought, "Oh, he jumped high, didn't he?"
I just like
So-
Sean Wright Phillips.
But obviously, I
What
had
about
no time watching Tim
comment
Cahill.
saying Sean Wright Phillips couldn't jump,
He could.
and this is from a Chelsea fan. So
Well, he spent most of the time Man
Of course it's
City.
Dave.
Yeah, of course, yeah. He's the only Chelsea fan we got.
Almost come off our live, so would have missed all the comments then. This is Sean Wright Phillips has completely phoned me there.
Yeah. He might have only done one decent jump, but I saw it
Leon Osman is someone who was short, he could jump as well. He's got a couple of good headers.
against Arsenal.
Diaz leaving, I think, is probably a certainty if you're bringing in another forwards because you're looking at, if rumours are to be believed, Isak and that Nketiah, and I don't think either of the prices tags they can. I know they probably play down the middle to be fair, but where are you going to fit them in?
I think it's like either club now
That's
can
true.
do something really like it can get really messy like, for either club now because like say obviously at the moment they're saying basically if you don't give us Isak we're going to buy Ekatike. So if like say if Newcastle get Ekatike and keep Isak that's like shit on Liverpool. But then at the moment Liverpool are sort of like just like say push their chest out a bit, saying like basically give us Isak, or like say we'll take your top transfer target, or like say just give us Isak 120 million, and then you can have him.
Is Newcastle going for a sign they think they'll lose Isak though?
Absolutely
I think
not.
they want both. I think they want both.
So I was just about to say no. I disagree with Chalky because I think you can never stay still as a Premier League club. You need to. You need to have competition for places. Isak cannot feel comfortable knowing that he's going to be the main man. He needs to be put. Yeah, he gets injured a lot. They're going into the Champions League. They've been in the Champions League before. They need to have an incredibly strong squad, and they need to have Isak needs to feel the heat, otherwise, to get the best out of each other. So that's what I think they're thinking.
I don't think they're forced to.
I don't think they're thinking about Isak going.
I don't think they're forced to, but like I say, I think Liverpool are trying to, like say, bully them as such.
Yeah.
Because they're literally telling them, we will put a bid in for Ekitike and try and recruit that if we don't get Isak. They're basically trying to use Ekitike as leverage.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Like I say, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Jack's point of competition, I'd say 9 times out of 10 you want multiple people who can play that position to give competition. I will say I think some players don't need that. Like, it's players like your Cristiano Ronaldo, admittedly they are exceptions. He always needs to feel like number one. I think that's what drove him to be the best in that. I'd watching Isak. I don't know if he needs to feel the heat. I think he's just someone who just always smiling, playing. He seems to enjoy himself.
They can surely play together as well. Like, why not put them together?
Absolutely,
There'd be a hell of an attack.
Eddie Howe might decide he wants to shake things up a bit. Isak can play on the left. I don't think that's his best position, but as Chalky says, maybe they're going to change formation. Maybe they're going to switch. Sometimes a few surprises.
Where you're going to play Gordon, where you're going to play Barnes, where you're going to play Murphy.
I don't think Gordon should be in their plans for long-term future. If they want to be pushing for that title, I don't think Gordon's good enough to be in a team that's pushing for a title.
He's arguably been one of their better players.
I don't know.
His end product is not good enough. His work rate is good, his speed is good, his dribbling's quite good. But his end product is just not good enough.
This season
so many times
he got 10 goals and 10 assists.
I swear I looked at a stat the other day. I think it was 10 goals since in all competitions. I don't think there wasn't Premier League. They played a lot of games.
They didn't play in Europe.
What, Newcastle?
Yeah.
They played.
Did they play in Europe? I didn't think he played in
Europe.
Europe.
They got knocked out early off, didn't they?
No,
the season before was
that was the season
before they were knocked out early. But yeah, I don't see him as an answer for their wing position.
He got sent off in the semi-final as well, didn't he? The FA Cup, I think. Was it against Brighton? Not Brighton. Couldn't have been Brighton.
You'd have to remind me. What did he do?
Villa?
No, I'm sure did Gordon get, or did he miss it? No, he missed the semi-final, didn't he? Because he got sent off. And then I think a few Newcastle fans kicked. It was needless red card as well. I can't remember exactly what he did there, but
I think Gordon's a good player. I don't. If for a Man City wouldn't take him. He wouldn't get into Liverpool squad. I don't think. Arsenal. I don't think he'd go into Arsenal's starting lineup. Yeah, I don't think he'd make it into Arsenal's starting lineup. Chelsea, he wouldn't get near them either. I think if you look at all the top teams in the Premier League, I don't think he'd get anywhere near them.
Would you have him to replace Diaz? Say if the money was similar. No, for Diaz.
I'd rather have Rodrigo, I think.
What the Gordon? Yeah, I was going to say, what the Gordon? I think you've got to have Diaz. You must have Diaz over Gordon. I'd take Diaz over Gordon.
I think Rodrigo is the best out of the three of them, but he has only really done it for a Real Madrid team. And I know that might sound but a Real Madrid team constantly have the ball. They're always on the attack. It's probably easier to look a better player in that system. I think if you take him out of that.
Well, that's the thing. He wants to play on the left, doesn't he, Rodrigo? And he's obviously that's always been vacated by Vinny Jr.
Yeah,
I think it's a smart thing to do. If you think you're going to be better in that position somewhere else, best man. Because Rodrigo is he Brazilian?
Yeah.
So I mean, if he wants to play there for Brazil, he needs to go somewhere else to go look what I can do instead of Vinny. So it makes sense for him to move for his career and for his hopes for the national side, really. So
has anyone got any questions from the comments? There's a bit going on in there. About a bingo that is being played, about a couple of comments. So, Mike, don't mention that one man that we know is in question.
Oh, there's several I mention every week.
Frozen a bit, thinking of bingo. I blame Dave for that. Rodrigo it'd just be interesting to see him in a different, because I think players have left Real Madrid before and not looked great.
Yeah.
Casemiro slightly different.
I think
Yeah,
that's
he
harsh
is
for him, yeah.
Robinho is the one I was thinking of. Left Real Madrid.
Don't know where
Yeah, but I wouldn't say he didn't. It's not like he lit the world up at Real Madrid. He did all right at Real Madrid, but he was in a team that was always winning in a league that isn't necessarily that strong 9 times out of 10.
Asensio did reasonably well, but I thought he looked like a...
Yeah,
to
he's
Fenerbahce,
not done great at
Quality
PSG,
player.
has he?
Yeah, he's gone to Fenerbahce, I think.
Yes, you're right. I think he has gone
I thought
permanently.
more Premier League clubs would look at him. 'Cause
I
thought
did
he
as
looked quite
well.
well. Tidy
He did
player.
look really good, didn't he, in that
Yeah.
Villa side?
Yeah, I liked him. He was tidy.
Him and Rodgers linked up really nicely several times, and him
Yeah.
and Rashford looked quite good alone. Now I'm surprised Rashford didn't want to go back, to be honest. But
You just can't take a penalty, Asensio.
Was that
It's
2
a
he missed
lot-
in one
lot-
game?
it's a
2
lot-
at St Mary's
Yeah,
against
I
Ramsdale.
remember that.
He scored a rebound there, didn't he? And he just turned away.
Yeah.
I think, if I'm remembering.
I think that's mentality sometimes, isn't it?
No,
When
they
you
do.
fail to just drive back at it, and some people, when they fail, just go, oh, put their head in their hands. It's a key part of Premier League players sometimes. Just
Yeah.
have the mentality of just like admittedly, Diaz has that.
Yeah.
Whenever he loses balls, instantly back at it. He just goes, well, I'll get it back then. Whereas some players like Asensio will just go, oh, for God's sake, okay, right. And then it always takes them like a couple of seconds to recompose himself and go right back at it.
So a question has come in, and this is also recorded for Spotify, so sorry anyone who is listening on Spotify. Again, it's from Dave. Hello, Dave. Which is your favourite Liverpool shirt, Chalky? The one you're wearing or the away shirt? I think that was actually directed at me. I don't like either. And I will just caveat that with Jess has made an absolutely fantastic point saying both should be binned. Which one do you prefer? And then
I'll drop him around after, Jess.
yeah,
For his bins.
she might need some toilet paper. Does anyone have a particular favourite shirt on the stream that we've got hung up today? PSG one was my favourite after they beat Liverpool this season. And I quite like this yellow Barcelona shirt.
Yeah,
I don't think they can see it on the live, but I love the collared Real Madrid shirt. I just
Yeah, I must say the Real Madrid shirts are very
I've always loved Real Madrid shirts. I've always loved Real Madrid, to be fair, but
And the one
barring
we
the Everton
saw
shirts.
this-
Everton shirts always take the thing.
The away shirt they released this season, Real Madrid.
I haven't seen it yet,
Really
actually.
lovely, isn't it?
The blue one.
Yeah, the blue
Yeah,
one.
that's lovely. Yeah.
It is an Albania shirt, Dave, and I got that because we done a sweepstake, Mike and I, with a few friends, and you had to buy the shirt.
Wrong side.
Joey, hello Joey, lovely to see you on here, mate. He put PSG brings back fond memories of Sunday night. Oh, I've got a Chelsea fan, so we did touch on that to start with, Joey. I don't
Joey
know if
loves
you
a
heard this or not.
PSG kit.
Is it Joey's got some corkers PSG shirts? They're absolute
Yeah.
corkers.
I need Joey to send one in for us. Get up and
Actually, that's true. I'll have to collect one from you, Joey.
Joey, we might have to try and get Joey on the pod one week. I think he'd be quite good value.
Yeah, we might get a few complaints though.
I'm not sure we could get him on a live one.
Just have to make sure Harry's not here on the same week.
we're all getting
You
banned.
two together could be quite dangerous.
We could almost get a mystery shirt and open it on the pod next time we do a live. Buy a mystery shirt and open
point
it.
out Mike has absolutely stolen Chalky's idea. Was it your idea?
I think we talked about
mystery
yesterday.
shirt?
When was that? Is that in the chat? I didn't read it.
Actually, you may have left. So
No,
we
he
all
left,
play
yeah.
football together on a Monday, and Chalky had a great idea, which we are going to do, which is we're all going to order a mystery shirt and then open it live on the pod, just for a bit of fun, really, and see what we get.
Oh well, I
we
still
need to
want credit for an original idea because I wasn't there when he said it. So
We need to revamp the background, don't we? We need
Yeah,
to
get a
shake
few
it up a
changes.
bit.
we can
So
update
it's
it, couldn't we? We
It's a
could
bit of an investment in the pod,
put
isn't
them
it?
up, haven't we?
One of us will get one of the big clubs. I
I will
reckon.
put non-Premier
Joey
League because I
says
couldn't
he's
bear.
been-
If I open a Liverpool shirt, it'd be a waste of my money.
Joey
No,
says
you
he's
can
been
put on there
demonetized
leagues that you don't want, so you can.
Yeah, I
Premier
have to put non-Premier League on there just to make sure I don't get Liverpool.
Just after that comment, Joey, we all love you, mate. Don't worry about it. But we do need a bit of a. We've done all right rotating the shirts that are up. Again, if you're listening on Spotify afterwards, sorry, 'cause you can't see it, but subscribe to us on YouTube.
Any of our viewers want to send us a shirt, feel free.
So we've tried to put a couple of England ones up with the women's Euros, which Chalky's a big fan of. Barcelona and Real Madrid feature quite heavily, mainly because that's a lot of shirts that Mike and I and Hickers have. And we try and hide the Liverpool shirts as best as possible.
We got Armin's up there.
Armin,
Shout out
yeah.
Armin.
Which is a lovely Barcelona shirt, which you can just about see on the stream. Next to it's a nice LA Galaxy one, which you can't really tell on the stream.
That is a nice Barcelona kit, actually. Is that one of the Champions League winning
Is that when they beat United?
ones?
Was it that one?
Yeah.
2007, yeah.
Mm,
Ooh,
no, there's a couple of years later, I think. they won the Champions League?
They
They
won
won it a few- they won it a few
2011
2007
against
was AC
United.
Milan. They beat us.
2008.
Oh, did they? That was a happy coincidence. So just moving on a bit more football, who do we think will be the first manager to get sacked next season? And as I didn't actually prepare anyone, I'll just chuck in my answer quite quickly. I think Daniel Farke from Leeds. I think he's a good or great Championship, similar to strikers.
Yeah.
I don't think he's quite good enough for the Premier League. But I do want to give an honourable mention to Scott Parker, because he just always seems to ruin it. When he comes
Scott Parker will talk his way into the sack like he did at Bournemouth.
Johnny Phillips has put David Moyes, so
That just shows how much he knows about football. That's the problem. That's why he doesn't come on very often. I'm going to have a bit of a gamble, because it could go really well, or it could go really poorly and get the sack after like 15 games. I'm going to go with Frank. I could see him get the sack. If he doesn't do well, leave him. Yeah, honestly, if he doesn't do well, Levi will just get rid of him. Levi will just get rid of him. He just does that.
The way you looked at me then, I thought you were going to say Slot.
No, God, no.
Well, how long did Santos survive?
6 games, wasn't it, in the Premier League? 6 games?
You can never rule out
No.
a Tottenham manager getting sacked.
You can never predict Spurs, no matter what happens.
Joey says Harry Potter. Johnny has said Graham Potter as well.
So Joey said Harry Potter.
Joey has put Harry Potter. That wasn't me getting it wrong. But we'll see if he can work some magic at West Ham. I think Potter probably is another good shout. I'd put Farke, Potter, and
I think
Didn't he
he'll
come
do
in
alright.
January though? Or he hasn't had a whole season yet, has he?
No, he hasn't. But is that squad built to play the football he wants?
He's got a chance to.
Yeah, but then he's had a whole summer to sort it out, approve it, manoeuvre it, and make some signings.
He's also lost Kudus, big player for them. I was actually talking to a West Ham fan Monday, yesterday, and he said that basically he was good, and then the last 8 games he just was obviously gone.
His head was gone. I'm surprised they've not lost Bowen. I thought more people were coming for Bowen.
He's like a cult hero there, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, but I'm surprised I'm surprised no one's come in for him. But again, maybe Danny Dyer's got something to do with that.
He values his life. He's staying with the Hammers.
That well.
But going back to Joey's point with Graham Potter, I think that
and
Johnny, I think that is a really good call, because towards the back end of last season, you didn't really see West Ham pick up. I know people will argue he's a project manager, but people, particularly West Ham fans, will need to see improvements. Performances improve quite quickly.
I think he'll do all right. I've got a feeling they'll do better than last season.
Came in at the same time, Graham Potter and David Moyes.
That's
if you
the
look
point
what David Moyes did for Everton compared to what Graham Potter's done.
Potter had one extra game, was it? I think.
It's very close.
Very close, because
they linked with us as well, and I was quite thankful for David Moyes, just because in the situation we're in, I wanted a safe pair. If it was the end of the season, I would probably have preferred Potter, because then he had
During the start of the season.
Well, no, when the season's finished, then.
Oh right, yeah.
The whole
I was going to say, I thought you meant to give him more time.
The situation we were in, Moyes was a much better appointment than Potter.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, another couple of names I'll throw into the mix. I mean, Ruben Amorim.
I don't think they can afford to sack him. There's been so much on managers.
I think they will sack him if it continued the way it was. I mean, I think they think, right, we need to give him the summer.
I would say I think in their mind they've given it until January. Otherwise they've done it after the tournament.
I just think the guy's got an impossible job.
That can't be right, because look at how they treated Ten Hag.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Because I think Ten Hag only got that little bit to start because he won the cup. So I think if they were on the fence by getting rid of him and he lost that, they'd just use that as a reason to get rid of him there and then. So I think they've given him in their head till January or something, because they didn't get rid of him as soon as they lost the tournament.
I don't think boards work like that. I don't think they're going to have a set date in mind. They're going to be going off fan reaction. They're going to be going off.
I think you've got to have a mental. I think you've got to have a certain element of he needs this amount of time to implement his plan to give his players to do what he wants.
With Tottenham though, they've have they not taken some new investment or something like that?
I'm not too sure.
Reports of to be believed. So maybe it won't be Daniel Levy's decision if there is this investor pumping money in, which I've seen a few rumours saying it is. That's why they're spending a bit more freely. I don't know how true it is, but that may get all today. I don't have a sense.
We'll see, but
I don't know. It could go either way.
More spending brings more pressure to a degree.
I think they've made some good signings, though. To be fair, from what?
They.
What was it? Gibbs White and.
Well, they haven't got Gibbs White.
Have they not got him?
What do you guys
That's
think
if
about
they get
Nottingham
over the
Forest?
line.
It's been blocked, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Has
Nottingham
it?
Forest are trying to complain, aren't they?
Don't get me started. Sorry, Nottingham Forest fans.
No, we're not sorry. It's pathetic, and I think a lot of Forest fans would probably agree with how they're going about it.
I have no problem with the club. I do have an issue with the ownership at the moment at Forest. I think they behave in an absolutely disgusting, petulant manner. Just the way they dealt with the Palace incident, the way they had the refereeing conspiracy.
Season before last, wasn't it?
Season before last. The way they just broke all the rules by spending.
Well, the owner came to the pitch, didn't he, at some point last season when he wasn't happy. Was it with the decision or an injury?
That's right.
He's a manager, wasn't it, as well? He had a moment the manager.
He came onto the pitch to question the manager.
But then they tried to swing that as, oh no, he was upset because a game had played on when it was a foul or offside or something and someone had been injured.
And now this legal battle against Gibbs, against the Gibbs White
did they pay the
transfer.
release clause or something, though?
So apparently, I think a lot of what happens now is players are sort of sound after first, and I think every club does it because there's no point going into negotiations with the club if the player doesn't actually want to go there. And essentially, that's all that's happened, and they've agreed to pay the release clause, and now Forest are kicking off. But how many of the players that Forest are signing or have signed would they have done that with? I would put a fair wager on probably all of them.
Absolutely.
I would make a point. If a club has put a release clause on your contract, at what point do they get a say? If you go, so look, this contract says we can pay this much for him, and you can't do anything about it. Well, here you go. Here's the money. He's agreed. I'm sorry. At what point do you go? You've got no say in it. I'm sorry. We can make
a hell of a signing for the Spurs if it goes through.
If it goes through, I think
it's a great player.
Spurs could lose him now, and he could go somewhere else because everyone's seen how close he's got, and then another club may think, take advantage of him, make it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because Gibbs White would probably improve a lot of Premier League teams.
65 million for Gibbs White.
I think it's 60.
What? 60 million? God, absolutely. It's a
no-brainer as well.
It's an absolute no-brainer.
Counts homegrown English, doesn't he?
There aren't many better players you can get for 60 million.
If he didn't have this release clause, they're probably looking 80 to 100
I was going to
million
say,
for a man, especially in English.
His English tax, his homegrown bonus would have adds a lot to it. So Alanga's counts as homegrown, doesn't he? I know he's Swedish, but because he counts as an academy homegrown player. So I think 55 million for Newcastle for him is a good amount of money.
I think that's a good sign. I know. Was it Alanga we were talking about? You said was overpriced, or no? That was Madueke, wasn't it?
Madueke is definitely overpriced. I
think Alanga's a really shrewd signing for Newcastle.
I
Another one how they're going to fit in if they sign Nketiah as well.
Well, yeah, I guess Alanga's your right winger. They definitely needed more depth there. I just think they want options. They want different.
Could go 4-4-2.
Surprises.
Two wingers, two centre mids.
I don't know how quick that Nketiah is, but if you had Alanga, Isak, and Gordon as your front three, that's
rapid.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But Champions League, they're going to need a squad. So
you're going to need 2 or 3 decent players
with the
as
Champions
forwards,
League,
4 or 5 midfield.
Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and Premier League. You're probably looking 50 to 60 games. And that's a long old season. And you get a lot of injuries along the way.
I'm just going to step in that. We've had 10,000 likes on this. And please, whoever is watching, if you haven't, please follow us and subscribe to us on YouTube. Sorry, carry on, boys. I just thought I'd get that in as we got to 10k.
Cheers for liking.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Sort of phone off with that.
Could I get your thoughts?
You're blushing.
Going back to Amorim, I'd be intrigued. I think recently it's come out that he's kind of separated the players who aren't in his plans, and they have to now.
Yeah,
they have to come to training at 5 o'clock later in the evening. Is that a good managerial decision? Is that a good style to alienate players?
I think it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Imagine you're paid for it. No, imagine if a player did that. Imagine if a player said, I'm not training West Ham because I want to leave. Yeah, and they're slated for it. A manager can't go, no, you're not training our team. I'm sorry, that's horrendous. To make him come in later, that's horrible.
Cameron has 15 to 20 players that he wants and he wants to improve. If you've got Rashford, Sancho, Garnacho, Anthony in there, who aren't happy there, who don't want to be there, it takes one drop of oil to spoil a barrel of honey.
I thing is, like,
that's not true. But
going back to, like, I think Hicker said earlier that he's got an impossible job, but I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I think he is so stuck in his ways. He wants to play his system. Sometimes in life, you've got to switch it up. If it's not working, switch it up.
Yeah,
Like he's got a squad there. Maybe try and be solid at the back. If you're getting beat every week, be solid at the back and then work forward.
And especially when you've got the tools to do so,
exactly.
because I've obviously experienced it firsthand with Russell Martin, just refusing to change it. But to be fair, regardless of what approach he went into, we were going to go down. With Amarin, they've got the players to certainly improve results and performances, and you're absolutely right. He's shown no adaptability, and I'd also say he's made some questionable comments in sort of press conferences as well. I don't know. I'm just saying, I've not been that impressed early doors.
I don't think he's handled himself well, and I think Chalky's spot on by saying he needs to adapt, he needs to be able to change, especially playing in the Premier League. I know we touched on last week that was Moyes' downfall potentially at United, but it's a different United now. They need to be able to pick up points.
Sorry, not again.
But they do have less pressure this year, not being in Europe.
I disagree.
They will have, well,
they've got more pressure.
They've got less strain.
They've got less games in their straight. They've got more pressure to get into it.
They should look to really improve this season, but I don't think, maybe the way he's done it is wrong, but I think taking the players out you don't want and who don't want to be there, because those 4 players don't want to be there.
Rashford, I think, has been keen though, hasn't he? Like he wanted to try and prove it.
But I'm intrigued to know, does Jim Radcliffe, is he? I mean, I'm sure he knows every decision he speaks to Amarin, but surely that can't be a good thing for the assets that you have at the club. You know, surely clubs are going to be sniffing around thinking, we can get blooming bargain.
Do you not think it's going to put players off as well? I mean, as soon as you fall out with a manager, like say if you don't have a few bad games and whatever, and then you see that behaviour from a manager, you think, I don't particularly want to go to a club that's that's managed by that man. If he does something like that, as soon as I fall out of favour, he's going to alienate me, send me different training times, send me to the under-21s. That doesn't sound like a manager you want to play under.
I think these players are going to go for reduced transfer fees because their wages. So I took a bit of stick on an earlier podcast because I said Sancho wasn't good enough last season. And I've done a little bit more looking into that. Potentially I was wrong because it was his wages, and I think to be fair, I'll give him a little shout out. Dave did mention that when we were talking about it off when we weren't recording. So how is Sancho going to get his wages down? Because I think he's also fallen through to Napoli. I think he was linked to
Juve as well.
Rashford's on massive wages. Anthony's going to be on massive wages. That's the problem United have got. They've well overpaid subpar players.
I think they've gambled. They've gambled on youngsters in the wrong way. I mean, it's all good and well gambling on a youngster with a slightly larger transfer fee or a bit of a bonus, but as soon as you stick on massive wages and they don't perform, you then struggle to offload them because no one else wants to pay their wages and they don't want to drop their wages.
Joey has put, I bet Jim makes them train at 5 o'clock without the floodlights on because they're also too expensive. I think that's a brilliant point, Joey.
Very good point.
You've got another 5 hours of light though at 5 o'clock still, to be fair, this time of year.
That's what he's saying. So they'll be able to use the floodlights. You should get down AFC Tottenham, £35 for an hour. You're welcome, AFC Tottenham, for that.
Get James Beattie on the podcast as well. Talk to us about the floodlights.
We'll see with United. United are always just an anomaly, aren't they? The pressure playing for them will be big because we've seen players flourish moving away from them.
Yeah.
They got too much crap on too high wages.
I think this is the absolutely brilliant thing about football. Is why we always come back to watch every season, no matter how poor our team's been, no matter what's happened. I mean, this season was probably one of the most unexciting seasons I've ever watched, with the title and the relegation. But it was all right. You've still got the Tottenhams, the Uniteds. I'd even throw us in there. West Ham, Brentford losing players. How they're going to do? There's so many teams in that thing you just don't know how they're going to do. You know, Tottenham could rock up and they could drop down because the Champions League. Man United, like I say, they've got a lot less strain on their schedule. There's so many teams in that league you don't have any idea really how well they're going to do. Brighton, there's just you just don't know.
What I like, I don't think anyone can predict who's going to win the Premier League this year. Not easily.
Not this year.
Is there? No.
Well, I think he'd like to predict it.
There's been a significant amount of change at Liverpool.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you see Chelsea, Man City have invested a lot of money. You can see Newcastle, but potentially going to spend a lot of money. I think it's wide open this year.
I hope so. I'd like 4 teams to be in with a shout on the last couple of games of the season. Chelsea, Arsenal, City and Liverpool.
I think Newcastle can easily get in that though. If they say like they come away with Isak, if they come away with Isak, aka, and get maybe one decent centre back, I think they could really challenge.
The thing is, last time they were in the Champions League, they dropped out of the places. Because last year they went into
first time, isn't it? They got a bit more experience, a bit different format.
I'd like to think though Villa showed like clubs. I'm not saying Newcastle are massive, so are Villa, but I think Villa last season showed that it can be done.
But they didn't make it back into Champions League, did they?
Yeah, but they were right in. They were right there, right until the end, and they had a good Champions League run.
Admittedly, the 2 formats were completely different because obviously Newcastle were in the group stages, whereas Villa had the league set up. So admittedly, they played more games, I think. But yes, Villa had a much more impressive.
Villa spent some money in January as well, didn't they?
I would say they did some very clever loans.
Loans. Wages, I agree.
But yes,
they were smart. They were smart. They had a great big impact on Villa, didn't they? And they had a great run, and they almost.
I would say Villa had a very good Champions League run for what they were expected to do. They, I think, overachieved in the Champions League. And I would say almost overachieved again in the Premier League.
I'd arguably say they underachieved in the Champions League.
At the start of the season, I don't think you could say you expected to get that far.
They were always near the top end of the group stage in the Champions League. And they were the Premier League team that pushed PSG the closest. And they were really unfortunate not to actually go through.
I don't think you can say they underachieved.
Yeah, I think that's...
It's a bit harsh.
Especially considering that
I said... I didn't underachieved in the sense that I thought they were unlucky not to go further.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. You felt they could have got. They had more in them if they hadn't come up against PSG.
Yeah.
If they'd have come up against a Dortmund or even shamefully to say a Madrid that season, they could have gone past them and gone a bit further.
They've got a manager who is so tactically aware and spot on. He knows how to play European knockout competitions, and I think they give Emery kind of free reign to sort of make a lot of big decisions.
Do you think Arsenal regret letting Emery go a little bit? Because because he's one of I think a few things.
It wasn't quite fit, was it?
No. So sometimes it just doesn't work out, does it?
Dave has asked, "Who's your favourite bold manager?" And Joey's replied, "Pound Shop Pep," which I'm assuming is Enzo Maresca. I've had a bit more time to think because I read that a minute ago. So I'm
favourite
just
bold
say,
one.
He's not current manager, but Tony Pulis would be mine, just because I quite like the story of him headbutting James Beattie in the shower. There's 2 mentions for James Beattie.
Oh, don't. Disgraceful. How dare you treat Beattie like that? How dare?
I know Dave is angling this at a certain manager, and I'm not going to say his name.
No, I've got mine.
Go on then.
Zidane. Madrid legend.
Was it Premier League?
Oh, was it just Prem or?
He doesn't. He just says, "Who's your favourite bowler?"
Oh, then Zidane.
To be fair, go on then, mate.
Zidane all day long. I know I don't think he's done anything extreme that anyone else could do. I mean, I know he won the.
He won it 3 years, didn't he?
Yeah, 3 years on the mountain. I don't think any man has done that. Admittedly, he did it with one of the best sides I've ever seen. No, he won it 4 out of 5. I think 3 in a row.
4 out of 5.
I think it was 4 out of 5, 3 in a row.
You're right.
But I just as a player and then at Madrid as a manager, I just loved him. It was brilliant.
I'm going to start reading Dave's questions out because the next one is who's your favourite manager that eats gravel? Tony Pulis. Bold managers, who's your favourite?
Big old Arnie slot.
Oh,
well,
yeah. Did you not see that coming? Did you? Why do you think I was talking for so long?
Sure, he had that plan for a long time.
Yeah.
Agent Rafa.
Rafa's a great shout.
No, he's not.
No, he's horrendous.
I'm sorry.
Horrendous. Right, we have him back next week.
How dare I say that to 2 Everton fans?
Agent Rafa. Jesus. He got rid of James.
So, who do you think potentially next season could be a surprise package? Who do you think might, like a Forest this year? Do you think anyone other than David Moyes might potentially do unexpectedly well? I think Brentford are up for a head of a struggle.
Just signed Hendo. That's a great signing.
You know what? I like
probably should touch
the ambition Sunderland have shown.
Yeah, okay.
In the last, the last week or two.
I know they made that big Diallo, was it? The 35 million centre mid?
Diallo.
I
can't remember his name, from Salzburg.
Yeah, and they just signed Adingra as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I really like that sign. I mean, when I say surprise for Sunderland, the surprise would be they don't go down. Sorry, don't
Johnny,
want to
if you're still watching, let us know
dampen the excitement.
I think,
there.
unfortunately, teams that come up through the playoffs so very rarely actually survive. So rarely.
Yeah, but they're going to give it a go. I love the ambition.
I hope so.
And I think signing players like a Dingra, is going to really help.
I think, like Chalky's just mentioned, Brentford signing Henderson. I think you think that's quite a good signing. I'm not convinced.
I think in terms of
they just lost Norgard, haven't they?
Yeah.
He's their captain. He will bring that. Like he just controls that midfield. Like just not even just hit by him playing, but like in COVID, you heard him like shouting at every player. Like he's so vocal. He'll have them running all over.
Yeah, wasn't he the reason they had to sign a beeper on the live cameras?
He just reminds me of like a Fabian Delph type signing for us.
He'd be solid in there. And like,
as much as it pains me to say, I think Henderson will be a better signing than Delph was for us. Whether he'll actually play every game, I think he'll probably play about 15 games in the league, maybe a few more.
32.
He's younger than that actually, so he might play mid-20s games.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he'll be able to do the full season at the intensity of the Premier League anymore. Well, but I will say, I think his composure and control will be massive for them, stabilising that team and keeping them into place.
Ben Foster saying that basically when Watford got battered by Liverpool, they were all really impressed with how...
Oh no, sorry, he's 35.
He's 35.
I thought he was older than 32.
Henderson basically is a manager on the pitch, and from that point of view, I think he'll be valuable for Brentford. But
especially with
legs will probably let him
because
down.
didn't Mbeumo agree to do?
Will he be able to?
I think he says he'll stay. If it says he's open to stay. I think he's also also implying he's open to leave. And that's
I saw an agreement today for Mbeumo. I don't know.
I thought it said it was quite far off.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a notification. I don't know what. I only saw it vaguely.
I think there's a few.
You're like the Fabrizio Romano of our pod, Chalky.
So Dave has asked another question. Prem prediction. What obscure thing do you think will happen this season? Like a ball boy being kicked or
beach ball.
I mean
that'd be a hell of a thing to predict. If someone predicts that here, then maybe you should put the lottery numbers on. Obscure thing.
Most amount of corner flags broken or something stupid.
Don't really know. Obscure thing. Sunderland to stay up.
Chelsea to win the league.
I'd say on that, the last time the three promoted sides all survived was Fulham, Forest, and I can't remember the third.
Brentford.
Was it Brentford? About 5 or 6 years ago. Can't remember. It was Fulham. I'm pretty sure it was Fulham, Forest, and someone else. I think that was back in 2021 or something.
Next, Forest have been up for about 3 years, haven't they?
I can't remember. It might have been Forest then.
And it just stayed up.
But there was. When do you think that will actually happen again? Because obviously 3 came up, 3 went down this year. I can't remember if any survived last year.
I don't think Burnley.
I don't think it'll be this year.
No,
that's for sure.
Well, you say that, but I think you say that, but I think if you looked at one of them, you could all give them one of them might survive. If one of them might survive, I think, and it's any one of them could, there's a chance saying that all 3 of them could.
You can't rule it out.
3 teams that are currently in the league that may go down.
Well, you're talking about Brentford, West Ham and Wolves.
West Ham, Wolves.
Now, do you see those 3 finishing below those 3?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I think that's the only reason, in my opinion, the Premier League is the best team in the world.
For 2 of them, only 2 of them to go down, they'll do well for.
I agree. I'm saying there's an argument that any one of them could stay up. But if there's an argument any one of them could stay up, there's an argument to be made that all 3 of them could stay up. No. But
I personally think Leeds have got probably the strongest chance.
Their manager. If Leeds,
I don't think they'll mess around though, like kicking him out though. Like I think there was rumours, weren't there, at the beginning of the season they were going to sack him anyway, even though they got promoted.
Yeah, they almost sacked him after the playoff final.
Yeah. I think if Leeds sack Farker and appoint Davey, you can get Bingo, someone like a Sean Dyche to keep them up, they would probably do alright. But any of those 3 teams to appoint that type of manager. But there's not many of them about now. You used to have Allardyce, Pulis, there's someone else down there, his name escapes me.
The one you just mentioned.
Dave's put Bingo in the comments. But do you know what I mean? If one of them gets that
I feel like Steve Cooper's that sort of...
I thought you were going to say Steve Bruce, because didn't he have a couple of years? He had about 4 or 5 years. He just turned up at a relegation side and did okay.
What I love about Steve Bruce is I think he's still managing because he just loves the job. He probably just doesn't want the same limelight as he used to have.
Maybe
he's not fashionable.
It's the
anymore.
same sort of thing as like Andy Carroll. If you just love the game, you want to be around it, don't you? You're just happy to be there. If I was been at the top Premier League, I would probably just keep dropping leagues until I was too broken to play anymore.
Yeah.
I think Andy Carroll realised he probably didn't commit himself properly in the start of his career and is now trying to make up for that.
I don't know. I think he just
from
watching him. I think if he just
FC Tottenham next year.
Yeah, I think if
like
you say, if he didn't commit to it properly at the start, again he's realising that. But he also might just say, like he says, he just enjoys it, so he just wants to play. Like he played for Bordeaux on basically minimum wage, didn't he? Yeah. And I'm sorry, you don't do that if you just want to get out of the limelight. You just do that because you love it.
But that's what I'm saying. He probably realised the mistakes he's made earlier.
He was saying that
it's easy to make those mistakes. I mean, Mika Richards talks about boozing all the time when he was there, and Grealish does it and all that sort of stuff. You're at the top level, you're getting paid that amount of money, you're going to go and spend it, aren't you? Because it burns a hole in your pocket.
He was saying like in Bordeaux, you could just go down to like a local bakery, have a coffee and croissant or whatever, and just like sit there, no one even notice him.
Yeah, the French are like that though.
That's a fair point. You know, maybe that will improve his game. Just
isn't he like part owner at Dagenham Redbridge? I think he's like part owner.
I think he's taken over by, is it Qataris or something?
Oh, is it?
I think they had an owners come in the same day he signed.
It's probably he's probably got a stake in the club because of his wages.
So are they going to be the next Wrexham moving up?
Oh, I don't know about that. No,
Wrexham.
I don't actually think Wrexham have gone up just because of their money. I think it's their whole thing they've done with their profile.
It's only money, though, isn't it?
I would say a large part of it is also they've attracted players because of their profile.
Well,
they've increased their profile as well.
Yeah, it's the way they've brought in the money. They've come up with multiple ways of generating revenue, haven't they?
Yes.
And they've done incredible things for the community, and they've rallied.
Extremely clever use of social media and their Amazon documentary. Disney documentary. It wasn't. That was the Prime one's all bar none or whatever. All the one City and stuff did. That's the Prime one.
All or Nothing.
All or Nothing. That's it. Yeah, they did that one. But yeah, no, they're really clever way of just getting their name out there, bringing up their title, their name, and then they're getting the Ben Fosters, the Stephen Fletchers, all those people in.
So I've asked for a couple of questions before we finish, which I will read out. But Dave has just quickly said Wrexham isn't a fairy tale. Show them hate. I think I just said it was all about money for Wrexham.
I think it is a fairy tale. You just hate them. You just means you're on the wrong side.
I think it's similar to how Chelsea got successful, if we're honest, Dave. So people in glass houses, mate.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You should have 2002 written on your badge, mate, not the other one.
I think the fairy tale ends this year. I think they've got a hell of a lot to do.
Saints have got to give them a good hot. I think just beat them, let them
4-1.
Yeah,
4-1.
If they turn you over first game of the season,
their tails will be up.
Push them on for the rest of the season. I did ask for some questions before we finish, and Jess has asked, do you think the Lionesses will bring it home? I think they'll do well to beat teams like Spain. I think we've already lost.
Well, they've got Sweden in the next round, who won all of their group games, including Germany. So I think that's going to be a really tough quarter-final. But I think people are saying that the Lionesses are on the right side of the draw until the final. So
they wouldn't play Spain.
Not till the final.
Yeah,
I think Spain are
they're favourites, aren't they? Yeah.
Well, and France have already they weren't
bad.
Us.
They're not bad. I think France. But again, I think they're also on the other side of the draw, aren't they? Because they came second in our group. So they're on the other side of the draw.
They topped our group.
Did they top? I thought we topped it.
No, we lost them.
Yeah, I know we lost them, but I must admit I was only scrolling and I saw a Lionesses will top the group. I assume that means they slipped up in the last game, but if they didn't, then they come top.
I think as England, I think we will get stronger as the tournament goes on, and I think we score goals, and I think Sweden do tend to concede. I'm not an expert by any means.
Yeah.
It's just what I've picked up and
I think
looked into.
Sweden have not ever gone on to win or get to a final even. So, and whereas obviously the Lionesses have that sort of big game experience. You saw them get to the final of the World Cup.
Won the Euros.
They obviously won the European Championship, and a lot of that group's still the same.
Yeah, so, but there's a few leaders at the back they're missing.
Williamson's playing now. But you're right, Millie Bright's missing.
I can't remember first name. Not Tess Daly.
Rachel Daly.
Thank you. So I think there's a couple of changes, but as you would normally in a squad.
Yeah.
Another question is, Joey has put, when's Chalky getting a haircut?
This is a fresh trim, Joey.
If we get 20,000 likes, he has to shave it.
Likes and he'll do it, and we're at 18.5. So just to do you a favour, when we get to 19, I'll just
Come
cut
on.
it.
What's that?
So Dave said, if we get to 20,000 likes, will you do it? I think if we get to 50,000 next time, we should get the Ronaldo.
No, if we get to 50,000 on the next one, he has to get on the following one. We do it live on the next pod.
If we hit our target, Chalky, we'll have to think of a...
We'll put a poll out on which one.
Why is Chalky the one getting the haircut? That seems a bit hard.
You're right. It should be the presenter that gets it, shouldn't it, Dan?
I think,
because Joey said
is
so.
tapping like mad for these likes now. Thank you everyone who tuned in tonight to the Armchair's View live podcast. We do really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe and follow us. As a podcast, we really appreciate your support tonight. Anything else to say, guys?
No, yeah, just follow us on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, and up the toffees.
Yeah, thank you, lads. Particularly Dave and Joey.
Thank you. See you next time.